I congratulate the present leadership of Federal Bank Employees Union that it took bold decision to celebrate Diamond Jubilee of Federal Bank Employees Union, a long journey of 60 years with all militant struggles and sacrifices. Today's young leadership of Federal Bank Employees Union is facing hard testing times and meeting all the challenges of today, whether it's the general working class movement or with the Federal Bank management, for its steadfast decisions and militant ways of handling the matters. That's why I have no hesitation to congratulate the present young leadership of the Federal Bank Employees Union. To look back at the history, it's a great history, a militant history. In 1963, of course, the great leaders P.M. Joseph and the team who initiated this trade union in Federal Bank. I came to Federal Bank, joined at Kolkata in the year 1976 as a graduate trainee. I still remember the journey I underwent from 1979 till I retired in the year 2014. During 1 year training period itself, I was been elected as the branch secretary of Cairo branch in 1977. That was how my journey started in the Federal Bank Employees Union. In 1978, the central leadership of the Federal Bank Employees Union invited me to the General Council meeting held in Alway in 1978. In the year 1979, till 1979 Kollam Conference, our union leadership is within Kerala. It's only in Kollam Conference when delegates participated from Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Kolkata, Delhi, and outside the states of Kerala. It was a bold and visionary decision of Comrade P.M. Joseph. I have to say, Federal Bank Employees Union and Comrade P.M. Joseph, they go by side. The architecture of this great organization is visionary leader P.M. Joseph. He decided in Kollam Conference that as the bank is expanding beyond Kerala state and other parts of the country, need to strengthen the organization outside Kerala. And it accommodated when the delegates submitted a memorandum, the leadership of P.M. Joseph, taken into the Executive Committee of the Federal Bank Employees Union, Comrade A.R. Ramesh as Executive EC member, Executive Committee member from Tamil Nadu, Comrade Raghunathan from Mumbai, from Maharashtra as the Executive Committee member, and Comrade Sebastian as the Vice President from New Delhi region, and myself, K.S. Rao, as a Joint Secretary of the Federal Bank Employees Union in 1979 Kollam Conference. I must say here that there are so many unions, banks from Kerala running, say Catholic, Dhanalakshmi Bank, so many banks are there. But there's a distinct difference between the other unions and Federal Bank Employees Union. It is a visionary P.M. Joseph's decision that as the bank expands outside the Kerala, the union should become an all-India union. That's how we all entered into the leadership under P.M. Joseph as the General Secretary, and great T.K. Vinayat, the General Secretary of the All Kerala Bank Employees Federation, as its President. He was the General Secretary of the All Kerala Bank Employees Federation and he is the President of Federal Bank Employees Union. It's a great story of militant story of this union. And another great event I would like to recollect, that we took a decision to enroll 240 trainees as members of the Federal Bank Employees Union. It was a Colon Conference decision that legally they may not be protected, graduate trainees under training. But union decided that General Secretary of the Federal Bank Employees Union will give a letter of guarantee that his job, graduate trainee's job will be protected if he joins the Federal Bank Employees Union. A written letter is given by the General Secretary of the Federal Bank Employees Union, and that is as per the decision of the Colon Conference. That is how the militant story started. As I entered the bank, I'm looking at it. Between 63 and 79, I entered, how I looked at it. It was many unions surprised at how we enrolled with the guarantee letter from the General Secretary, and all of them participated. And you understand that we are having a very minimal service conditions, practically no loan facilities, nothing is, no housing loans, everything is a limited way. There is a great struggle took place in 1972, a big struggle undertook when I was not there in the bank. That struggle created wonderful openings of settlement with Federal Bank management. Then next best agitation took place, a 6 months long agitation from 1979, from October 16th to April 3rd, 1980. It's a long drawn struggle. It's a pitched battle between the management and Federal Bank and the Federal Bank Employees Union. In November 1979, 4 individual strikes are declared by the Federal Bank Employees with 100% success. And management became berserk and deducted for 1 day strike 8 days wages. That means in November month, 4 days strike, 30 days wages are to be deducted. That's the decision of the management. But it could not stop the union from proceeding with the agitation. With great spirit, we continued the agitation. From January, we were given a go slow, work to rule call by the union. And almost whole work is paralyzed in almost all branches. Management does not know how to tackle it, a situation. Then they stopped paying salaries because there is no work, no pay. This line they took up. And that's how things are moving on. When bank is decided not to pay the salary, an innovative decision is taken, a militant decision. On the salary day, our union decided not to close the cash. It was a surprise to the Federal Bank management. What is it? Because cashier is not closing the cash. 8, 9, 10, 11. Cashier is not closing the cash. They become berserk. And it was such a days where to recollect it. That's how Kerala was boiling with that spirit, so also throughout the country. I'm coming from Kolkata. So happened that Vice President elected from Delhi, after election he took a transfer back to Kozhikode. So Delhi is without a leader. So Comrade PM Joseph directed me, that being a joint secretary from Kolkata region, that you also oversee, you have to go to Delhi region to organize the agitation. That's how 2 regions I have handled during 1780 agitation. And in northeastern region, under me there are 16 branches. There's Kolkata branches, Bengal, then Bihar, then Orissa, then Assam, 7 branches. The young leaders, all under the age group of 25, not caring for anything, obeyed these actions of the central office. Any order given by central office, any decision is an order for us. That's how. And in Kolkata, one event I would like to say, we want to lift the agitation to next level. branch secretaries, along with branch secretaries, we conducted at them Thomas Varghese, Ashokan, a few names to quote. Branch secretaries, we met on the lawns of Victoria Memorial Hall, lawns in the garden, a secret meeting, because inspection officers are inspecting in Baliganj branch. Then we took a decision, what may come, send the officers back to Kerala, was the decision. And next day, we went in a massive way and we have asked the Baliganj manager, give them advance and let them fly back to Kerala. So, inspecting officers are forced to fly back to Kerala, seeing our protests. This is one incident. Then lifted the agitation level in northeastern region. I would like to say that way. And we are young comrades in Delhi, and P. Joseph was the area manager. So I said, we were at that time too young, I said, break the law, break the rules. So even during office hours, during banking hours, we conducted the meetings in Delhi during agitation. The managers were surprised how these daring steps comrades are doing it. That's one instant. And another thing that because of we were fully supported by the Bengal Provincial Bank Employees Association under leadership of Ajit Banerjee. AIBEA leadership also is available there. So there is a pressure put on the branches and go slow is there. So there was a charge leveled against me that I have threatened an Abdul Karim, officer of Clairo branch, as because of threat he was flown to Jamshedpur overnight, and they filed a criminal case against me. This is one incident. Later on, with the pressure of the Bank Employees Association of Bengal, the management has to compound the case of criminal case of Kolkata. That's one incident. Recollect that way, it was practically total strike, but no strike. But what I found in that strike, there are a lot of victimizations. Hundreds of comrades were transferred helter-skelter throughout the country, from Kerala to different parts, Tamil Nadu to different parts, from Karnataka to different parts, like that. Many comrades were suspended. Salary is not paid for 3 months, January, February, March. So this is what with heavy, and another thing is 240 trainees were terminated at one stroke. One side union gave a guarantee letter in writing, on the other hand management terminated 240 trainees. But the agitation continued undeterred. With all these victimizations, comrades are continuing the struggle, resulted in a wonderful settlement of 3rd April 1980. And I must recollect here, our PM Joseph, General Secretary, was not getting salary. In Kollam Conference Day, I remember, I proposed 1 rupee every comrade should contribute to the PM Joseph's account. He must continue as a General Secretary with salary, no salary. Union is there, comrades are there to take care. So that was a major issue. Duty relief to General Secretary, transfer policy, because we understood how the weapon of transfers has been unleashed against the comrades. And so that major achievement after 600 months struggle, October 16, April 3rd, a settlement where we have first time historical settlement signed for recruitment policy, promotion policy, transfer policy and other demands. And victimizations were able to bring, and even all the 240 trainees were reinstated, except 5, because they said there are special cases of indiscipline, so they withheld them. But later on, Union declared indefinite strike, and we got them also back into the bank. So this is a success. All comrades were transferred, were brought back to their respective places. Suspensions were lifted. This is a success story of 1980 settlement and struggle of 79-80. I could see And another thing happened, I don't want to say out of the way. In all the 16 branches of North Region, because of the militant federations there, we ensured all 3 months' salaries paid there. We are unhappy that through other parts it is not paid, but it is paid in the 16 branches. That is one part of it. This is how the happened, and that is where the request transfer policy, without request of the employee cannot be transferred. That is today, even today, Federal Bank employees is so strong after 60 years is because of 1980 settlement signed by the Federal Bank employees. That's one thing I will say about that. And coming back to 1983, another historical events took place. I got myself transferred to Vijayawada. I was born and brought up in Hyderabad. But I preferred Vijayawada being a communist center, a trade union center. So I preferred a transfer to Vijayawada. 81 October. But whole Kolkata and Assam comrades, always I am in touch with them. And in 83, our former General Secretary Matthew George and today's Vice President Matthew George, he was executive member of the Federal Bank Employees Union. He was from Guwahati. He went for a trade union work in Dimapur. Because of special enactments, the manager took undue advantage of the special police laws and got our Matthew George arrested. It is not at all expected of the management to arrest an executive committee member of the Federal Bank Employees Union. So immediately I was advised and I rushed to Kolkata, and we ensured that all branches stopped their work. It was a total stoppage. That's all. The Kolkata was put under flames, rather I can say. It's a wildfire of strike. That means no strike, no work. As a consequence of, demanding immediate release of Matthew George and as his executive member. Then, taking the position, Federal Bank, where the Federal Bank management is also very notorious management, I say, very strong management. They conducted a customers meet in Kolkata. They said, we want to teach a lesson to Federal Bank Employees Union. You bear with us for 1 week or 10 days. We will teach them a lesson and then we will open the branch. For 10 days, you please keep arrangement for your own cash arrangements. Don't press for your requirements from the bank. The major important customers agreed for that, and they, first of its kind in the banking industry, Federal Bank management took to a lockout of 9 branches of Kolkata, unheard in the banking industry. 9 branches, 200 employees. Federal Bank locked it out. They put 20 conditions before Federal Bank Employees Union. To lift the lockout, 20 conditions accepted. Colonel P.N. Joseph attended the negotiations in Calcutta and found situation is not good. It is not vulnerable for settlement. 20 conditions are not acceptable. And AIBEA was guiding the Federal Bank Employees Union. Comrade Tarakesh Chakravarti, General Secretary at that time, Prabhatkar was President, was in the AIBEA office. So he took a bold decision. He purchased a flight ticket and he directed the Secretary, Comrade P.P. Varghese, to immediately call for emergency meeting of the Executive Committee within 48 hours. And he landed Chennai and he telephoned me to Vijayawada, Rao, you go to Calcutta, keep the morale of the cadre. We are deciding strong decisions from the Executive Committee. You need not attend the committee meeting. You keep the morale of the cadre in Calcutta. That was the order given by Comrade P.M. Joseph. At that time I was the Vice President. In that situation, one thing I can say, that lockout is a misfired weapon for the management. A factory owner can lock up his product, so he can undertake the loss and not to allow his product and make workers to suffer. But the banking industry, it is not the bank's product. The money is, banker is only custodian of the public money. They misread the situation. And after 10 days, union is not coming forward to accept the conditions. Union broke in the negotiations. And Executive Committee declared indefinite strike for lifting of the lockout and for release of the Matthew George. With the two demands, Executive Committee declared indefinite strike. 15 days over, nothing is moving. Ultimately, customers threatened to go to High Court of Kolkata High Court. Then managers, our general manager has been stationed at Kolkata to lift it because he has to go back to Kerala after lifting the lockout only. Customers are threatening to go to High Court. So they knocked at the doors of the Federation leader, Ajit Banerjee's home. They said, we want a settlement for lifting the lockout. And a historic settlement signed in Calcutta. I don't remember exactly the date, 27th of October or something like that, around that day, after 18 days of lockout, that without any conditions, a simple agreement is signed by not only Federal Bank Employees Union, along with us, the AIBEA General Secretary Tarekesh Chakravarti, BBB General Secretary Ajit Kumar Banerjee, and myself as Vice President, A.M. Shankaran, the Assistant Secretary. We all were signatories to the lockout lifting settlement. No conditions accepted. Not only for 18 days lockout, issues has to be decided in a court of law about wages. In the meanwhile, they have agreed for 1 month's pay, interest-free pay. For 1 month, for 18 days, they agreed for 1 month's pay to be paid in installments. That's how a successful. So it misfired. So Federal Bank Employees Union has given a solution to the banking unions. A lockout is no weapon. That's the one major event I would like to say that one. This is about 83 and later on, and I must say here that immediately myself and Shankaran, we proceeded to Dimapur, Nagaland. There, once lockout is lifted, management is defeated to say, I must say I have no words other than that they have agreed. And in Dimapur, we have signed a settlement. The settlement is also with me. That the branch secretary of Dimapur, T.L. Joy, has to be reinstated immediately. Suspension must be lifted, he must report to duty, and there will be compromise petition to be moved by the Federal Bank, Dimapur branch and Matthew George for compounding the case in Dimapur court. That's how a settlement signed on 11th November 1983. 11th November 1983, a settlement signed in Dimapur by me as a Vice President and A.M. Shankaran as Assistant Secretary, on side the T.L. Joy, representative of the management. That's how a militant comrade Matthew George, his case was settled. A great leader, now grown up in the Federal Bank Employees Union, and he was become General Secretary for many long years, Matthew George. And he retired very recently, post, now he is today Vice President of the Union. A militant comrade, once arrested by the management in Dimapur, has become the Secretary of the Union, General Secretary of the Union, now the Vice President of the Union. This is the story of this organization and its leaders. That's one incident. I'd like to say about the background for indefinite strike in Federal Bank by Federal Bank Employees Union from 21st January 1988 to 11th March of 1988. The background is that to unleash attacks on Federal Bank employees, they recruited a strong personality, one Mr. Menon, as HR head. And he started issuing memos, charge sheets to committee members, office bearers, and started conducting inquiries against office bearers, committee members, and heavy punishments have been imposed. And one committee member of Mumbai, I remember the name I won't say, he was imposed a 17 increments cut. Mumbai committee member. Similarly, there were dismissals, about 4 dismissals. So when things were moving this way, the militant leadership, the executive committee of the Federal Bank Employees Union decided we should have to deal with this management, with this new person, with this new management of HR. And not only that, a chapter agreement is also we decided. And here we have decided we will go for indefinite strike because inside the bank, doing agitation, wage cuts, victimizations are taking place. So you see, we will go for strikes, sacrifice of salary, but achieve the chapter of demands and withdraw all the vindictive actions of the management of dismissals, suspensions, increment cut punishments. So we placed chapter demands one side, another side, all punishments to be revoked on the other side. So for this both objectives, Federal Bank Employees took a bold decision, launched an indefinite strike. About 3,000 employees participated in the strike. It went day to day, week after week, month after month. Whole bank employees throughout the country stood behind the Federal Bank Employees, comrades. All Kerala Bank Employees Federation did yeoman services in contributing every way for success of the strike. Fortunately, we had a left government during that period in Kerala. We also made deputations to Chief Minister at that time. And strike is going without any hindrance. Comrades are prepared for loss of wages. 5 days individual strike conducted, then followed by indefinite strike. And throughout the country, there is no much communication as of like today. But union word is word, final word. That's what strike was so successfully going on. Management not coming forward. Then on we decided that we should make the comrades come at head office to show our physical strength. So we gave a Chalo head office call on the 43rd day of the indefinite strike. And during the course of agitation, it so happened our PM Joseph was down with chicken pox. He cannot come out, being chief. And mantle more fallen on me as a president and also the PP Varghese secretary, then Matthew George, other leaders, and so also Comrade K. Srinivasan, then the General Secretary of the All Kerala Bank Employees Federation. It was a big movement that head office, Chalo head office event, I must say, that comrades were so angry, they lost 43 days wages, settlement is not in sight, management is adamant, not coming forward to settle they are prepared to settle the chapter demands, but our major issue is disciplinary cases only. That's major that. So ultimately, 43rd day when 1,000 people assembled it, people want to enter the head office and they want to rather rough ride, they want to physically deal with the people also. So such a ferocious situation we faced on that Chalo head office. Then we thought police was present. If our comrades enter the head office, things will go out of hand. So ultimately AIBEA General Secretary as a president and then leadership, we all decided that we should immediately take out all the 1,000 comrades from the head office. Otherwise anytime anything can happen. So it was first time as a president I gave to give a presidential order forcing the comrades to get out of head office and to march for a rally in all way streets. That was how a ferocious comrades of militant comrades of 1,000 were taken out from head office for a procession with a presidential order. The AIBEA General Secretary leadership is with us. and we moved the 1,000 people streets of Alway and culminated in a meeting, town railway station or somewhere other side of the head office. That has resulted in the settlement. I can say 43rd, within a week's time we got a settlement, because then they understood management employees are very ferocious. Had the union leadership not taken them out from the head office, things would have gone out of the hands for union as well as for the bank also. Then fortunately, one district collector who worked under former CPI chief minister Vasudevan Nair, I think I don't know name practically. Under him he worked IAS officer who was the district collector of Ernakulam. District collector exercised his powers as a district magistrate and as a district collector, and he convened a meeting. Management is also tight. Union is exuberant with the strike going on without any disturbance. Ultimately, on the early hours of 11th, an historic settlement signed, one side on charter demands, another is understanding on the dismissals, reinstatement and punishments also. That's how, that's where historic settlement signed, and at that time, HR official, Mr. Meenan, was trying to argue this way, that way. And district collector has to silence him, that you hold on, let settlement take place. Otherwise, I will have to use my magisterial powers, like that he said, the district collector of Ernakulam. Mr. Cherian, general manager, and Mr. Kuriakos, general manager, they are all worked out, and a settlement was signed in the presence of district collector. Early hours of it was, strike is called off, and employees are asked to restore the normalcy. That was a historic settlement. That increment cuts were all removed. They had to submit some letters, and they submitted it. Most of the cases it was made to, some cases made to zero punishments also. And out of 4 dismissals, we got 2 dismissals reinstated. Remaining 2 we went to labor court and we got them reinstated also. This is a success story. That settlement was signed. This is also an historic event for the, from there, no looking back for the Federal Bank employees. Thereafter, and because of strike, indefinite strike, 55 days loss of wages, there was organizational crisis, was also some discontented elements want to create. But in 1989 Trichur conference, we have silenced them by overwhelming majority. The unity of the union is restored intact with 50 plus 5, 55 days indefinite strike. It's a good settlement. We are restored. This is success story of the Federal Bank Employees Union. And thereafter, I think, till 96, PM Joseph continued General Secretary. In 1996, PP Varghese became the General Secretary. That's how he continued. Again, after retirement in 2004, I stepped down for one term to see that PM Joseph become the president after his retirement. For in between 2 years, 2004 to 6, because he is my leader. He is a visionary. Because of PM Joseph only, whole entire country, the cadres, the leaders are committed to the trade union, Federal Bank employees, and many unions were disrupted, state-wise formed like that. But we maintain unitary system because central office is so strong, so liberal, accommodative, and because of visionary PM Joseph. I must say, I read salutes to PM Joseph. No parallel leader. That's what I could say. Later on, every 2 years we got a settlement signed. Because this strike has given that benefit to cadre. And always recruitment, everything, every time when they were saying we are finding out, transfers are protecting. Now today, coming to today's position, I am so happy. Another good aspect of it, unlike many unions, we are not interested in staying in the leadership. We always vacated before the retirement. That's what in 2014, February, after 26 years as a president of a union, I vacated. I said, you'll be there. I said, after 26 as president, I said no. That's where later on we can see P.P. Varghese, Ganguly become the president, Rajan become the president. Later on I could see after Rajan, P.P. Varghese, Matthew Judge became the general secretary, Ganguly became the president. Again 2022, Sujit Raju became the general secretary and Vishal Thakur became the president. And former general secretary Matthew Judge became vice president, because there are the guiding force must be there, one or two office bearers must be there for continuity of the things, for as a guiding line to the young leadership. Today I am so happy under the able, efficient, militant leadership of our Sujit Raju and Vishal Thakur and the entire team, with the guidance of Matthew George, very strong militant union. I may be sick for a few years. But I was very actively working out and following very thoroughly with the Federal Bank movement. I congratulate, I salute the present leadership. You continue the militancy. There is no substitute for militancy. There is no substitute for muscle power. This is my tributes to the and regarding disciplinary cases also, we have to do wonderful. I think Sri Susi Tiwari, expert, it seems to be in disciplinary cases. I want a team should be formed to go into disciplinary cases. Must be. See, we should invoke not only service conditions to defend, manual of instructions. We should invoke labor laws, Industrial Disputes Act, Payment of Wages Act, Gratuity Act. All labor enactments we should take into consideration while defending, while fighting. Always it will help us to defend in a better way. That area, I want union will come out strongly. I wish every success, and you can protect all the comrades. And I congratulate again this president taking bold initiative to hold Diamond Jubilee celebrations and call back all the office bearers. And before that one incident, I think I beg out of this. During Indefinite Strike, one incident happened, I can record it for this one. When strike is going in high spirit, I was, all the 2 months I was in Kerala only. I am not in Vijayawada. Being president, I was in Kerala, moving in. One incident took place. Our V.S. Pradeep, our office bearer, was slapped by one officer in one branch in Trivandrum area. That was one incident to demoralize the strike. Immediately, our committee members and some comrades went there and retaliated and hit back that officer to keep the morale of the cadre. It is happening during Indefinite Strike. And then it's a criminal case. Then office bearers meeting was held in Alway, and we took a decision as office bearers meeting. We have endorsed the reaction of our comrades or the action of the officer who slapped our office bearer. It is a retaliation. And we decided, let us engage the best lawyers to protect our comrades. And ultimately, we have our V.S. Pradeep case was slapped by officer. We also lodged a case, criminal case. And ultimately, with the help of the government and also because the case was compounded. This one incident, and that comrade later on became officer, retired as a scale 3 manager. And V.S. Pradeep also became officer, active in the officer association, retired. This is one incident where officers slapped our office bearer. We retaliated physically. It is out of movement. Not that we decided, we asked them to retaliate. It happened spontaneously. This one incident I would like to say. Okay, this is, I wish you every success, militant organization. I always there for, I am now 70 years. And there with the Federal Bank employees on every call, whenever I got time, definitely my Hyderabad comrades are asking me to participate. I am participating it. I am with the organization. For whatever services, little I can do, I am there with you. Thank you for giving.